from Brussels on a wonderful sunny day in the Royal Academy, the Academy of the Belgian Medicine Society, to present today at a Multiplier event the results of our Erasmus Plus project, Hey Do Learn It. To my right is Professor Martin Margot, one of the chairs, and to my left is Professor Günther Borg, and also our local organizer, Professor Véronique de Marmol, is also with us, and other colleagues of the project. The meeting is going to be recorded, to distribute it to the stakeholders, to the different societies. And it is my pleasure now to ask for some welcome words. First, the Secretary General of the European Dermatology Forum, who is associated partner of the whole project. This is Professor Nick Reynolds. He is in Newcastle in the United Kingdom. Nick, very warm welcome this morning to you. Please, it's your floor.
Thank you very much, Howard. It's a great pleasure to join you today on behalf of the EDF. I think most colleagues will be familiar with the important work the EDF does, but as a few introductory remarks, I would just like to highlight that the European Dermatology Forum is a non-profit professional organization dedicated to improving skin health across Europe. And one of the most important pillars of our activity is education, and education of many different forms, including residence. And crucial to this project, we see the investment in the future and the importance of educating medical students. And really, from the work that the EDF has done in conjunction with its professional partners across Europe, this project has arisen. And I would like to thank very much Harold, Martin, and Günther for leading this important multiplier project. And I'm very excited to hear the outcome of it. So the EDF thinks this is a really important initiative to bring together education across Europe, and it's something that we need to invest in ongoing. And I think one of the considerations at the end is how can we ensure that the good work that's being done can then be continued and taken forward so that we do fully get harmonization. So thank you again for inviting me today.
Thank you, Nick, for your welcome words. Very nice. Thank you very much. As we all know, the European Dermatology Forum is the association of the teaching professors in our discipline, European-wide. And the other European society responsible for continuous professional development and having also residents there in the membership is the European Academy of Dermatology and Venereology. And we are very much delighted that the president, Professor Alexander Stratigos from Athens, is also giving us some welcome words. Alexander, please.
Thank you very much, Harold. I'm sorry I'm not able to be with you physically in Brussels, but it's a great pleasure on behalf of the ADB to attend this important multiplier event. Today you are presenting, but we're also celebrating the Hey Do Learn It event as a broad and powerful educational initiative that aims to harmonize undergraduate education across Europe. An initiative with multiple components that include also the Cyberderm Deut, an online program that exemplifies the integration of interactive technology, high-quality scientific content, and a modern outlook that really fits to the needs and the expectations of the current generation of medical students. I wish to warmly congratulate Professor Golnick Professor Bagot and Professor Berg for their commitment, their leadership, their enthusiasm, and of course, their long-standing efforts to develop and bring to fruition this excellent project and deliver it to the academic community. I also wish to congratulate the EDF for endorsing and supporting this very important project early on, and of course, the Erasmus for their support through the strategic partnership. It is a fact that undergraduate education in dermatology and venereology is quite heterogeneous across Europe, with different learning curriculum, different learning materials, and different teaching activities. And this is an issue for a specialty that is thriving in terms of scientific advances and new innovative treatments, and also a discipline like dermatology and venereology that really attracts the best and brightest candidates from medical schools. The How You Learn It project provides a comprehensive framework that reflects modern medical practice, new knowledge, and also current scientific findings. But more importantly, it provides equal access of this unique educational resource to all students, regardless of their background and country of origin. In a world that has been absolutely disrupted by the corona pandemic, this resource comes to bridge differences, to unify knowledge, and to overcome language and other barriers as well in undergraduate education. As a medical organization that represents the largest community of practicing dermatologists across Europe, the ADV embraces this new project, and we will do most to support it through its CME activities and initiatives. In fact, at the ADV, we have opened up a new membership category, especially for medical students, in an effort to provide our unique membership resources to future physicians and future dermatologists. But we certainly need to do more on a collaborative basis and always in conjunction to the EMS to harmonize education, not only on the undergraduate level, but at all levels of medical training, including the postgraduate level. We will work and establish and promote European training standards, common curriculum, and common board examinations that will ensure that we develop a new generation of specialists trained in the highest educational standards and able to provide the best medical dermatology care anywhere in Europe. The How You Learn It project is an important first step and can work actually as a model for similar initiatives. So again, congratulations to you, congratulations to all contributors, and a very good success to today's meeting. Thank you very much.
Professor Stratigos, dear Alexander, thank you so much for your welcome words. Very well, very nice. Thank you.
Thank you.
We are sitting here because Erasmus Plus was accepting our application for the grant. And Erasmus Plus is really an enormous organization in Europe to bring forward harmonization, new projects, cooperation and partnerships. And we are very much delighted to have with us Mrs. Kerner, head of unit and responsible for Erasmus Plus partnerships and cooperation projects and for the European Union 03. And she is kind and she is very warm welcomed now to give some words also to us. Mrs. Kerner, please.
Okay, I almost forgot to turn on my mic, sorry. Yes, thank you very much, Professor Gollnick, for the introduction. And I am very pleased to say a few words, welcoming words at this event. Despite the fact that I'm also not able to greet you personally, I'm very happy really that this meeting is taking place, hybrid, partly in Brussels, partly on the screens. And since it is the closing event of one of the Erasmus Plus strategic partnerships that are administered through our National Agency for Higher Education Cooperation at the DAD here in Germany. Let me start with a quote. Theodore Levitt, who was a German-American economist and professor at the Harvard Business School, he once said, "Creativity is thinking up new things, innovation is doing new things." And I think the quote goes for all of you here. That means for the entire consortium of Had You Learn It. You have come up with something innovative in your field of teaching, with new methods, new formats, new approaches, and new tools. And I think you've probably realized over the last 3 years that a great thing about such a strategic partnership is that you don't have to do it alone, but with the right people who share your interests and your visions. And the Erasmus strategic partnerships are European partnerships that are intended for organizations from different participating countries to work together to develop, share, and transfer best practices and innovative approaches, as you have done, as I said, over the last 3 years. The intention is not to only bring innovation, be it digital or traditional, to your consortium, but also to positively influence the people that are benefiting from the outcomes of your project. Somebody already mentioned the students, but also the staff, the stakeholders, and of course also the general public. They're also intended to create innovation change within your own institutions at local level, regional level, and ideally also on European level. And with your goals and objectives, I think this can be highly done, yes. And that brings me back to the topic of your event. Internationalization places far greater demands on universities today than it has in the past. In addition to the exchange of students and lecturers and the implementation of projects, there are new demands placed on teaching and studies and also on internationalization at home. On the other hand, we have digitalization, which plays an extremely important role in internationalization, as well as we all have experienced over the last almost 2 years with COVID-19 in all subjects of higher education, such as medicine in your case. This involves the development and mediation of digital learning content in an international classroom that can also include students who cannot go abroad. It can also involve digital components for the preparation, implementation, and the follow-up of stays abroad by the students and teachers. And we're convinced that Erasmus projects dealing with digitalization in medicine have a great future potential. They really can create synergies not only within such education projects, but they also have the potential to be a link between education and research, of course, and together with the great demands of the general public towards medicine. Therefore, we think that it's very important that these projects are also sustainable. That means that its results should live on, they should be disseminated to everybody and also inspire other universities throughout Europe to use these results for themselves, because it's of course not necessary that everybody reinvents the wheel, but that others can benefit from these projects as well. So when preparing my little speech, I looked at the so-called Erasmus Project Results platform, on which all project results of the last program period from 2014 to 2020 and also its predecessor programs are perpetuated. And I did a small search and I found 136 projects concerning the topic of health and well-being, looking alone at the strategic partnerships. And I think this also underlines the importance of this topic. Now, talking about Erasmus and program generations, as many of you might be well aware that this year, 2021, is the start or has been the start of a new program period that goes up to 2027. And it has an estimated budget of 26 billion euros. So this is nearly double the funding compared to its predecessor program. And even though the majority of the funding goes into mobility support, about 70%, there is 30% of the budget that will be invested in cooperation projects and policy development activities where organizations, as you did now, can gain experience in international cooperation, strengthen their capacity, produce innovative approaches, exchange good practices and network. And the new program also places a strong focus on social inclusion. The green and digital transitions or digitalization will play an important role again and also in promoting young people's participation in democratic life. Why am I saying this? The new program period offers many opportunities for many different purposes, be it in terms of topic, geographic focus, or sector. So I would also like to invite all of you to look into these new opportunities over the next few years and maybe apply for a new project in your field, dermatovenerology or related topics. Last but not least, these Erasmus partnerships or partnerships in general, they always require mutual respect and trust on a personal, local, and European level in order to unfold its full effect and also be of importance to Europe as a whole. And looking at the huge political and economic challenges of today, one might ask the question whether single projects such as yours or programs such as Erasmus are big or important enough to make a difference in this respect. And I would like to use another quote by our former German Minister of Foreign Affairs, Klaus Kinkel. He once said, "Europe will not prosper through agreements. It grows from the heart of its people or not at all." And I think this quote clearly shows that the ability to look beyond one's nose, as we say in German, der Blick über den Tellerrand, and personal encounters with people from other cultures will always have a stronger impact to extend one's horizon than just decreed coexistence. And I hope that you agree with this after having worked so closely together for 3 years, even though the personal encounters were a bit restricted within the last 1.5 or 2 years. So education certainly is one of the decisive factors and a driving force for tolerance, for mutual understanding, and especially for making informed choices, but also for economic growth and prosperity. And I think that Erasmus partnerships are definitely a best practice example for a strong commitment for Europe. And I would like to thank you very much for your attention. And I wish you interesting and fruitful discussions today.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Körner, for your very nice and important words and giving us really also an idea of the framework of Erasmus and what is the function in Europe and for the look in the future. We will have a recording of the whole meeting to have a larger multiplication of attendees, and we will go now into the program. We have foreseen 3 talks. The first one is given by me, and I will give you the introduction why we have just decided to set up such a project and give you the results so far. And then Professor Günther Burg, he is going to explain what is the real scenario of learning behind what is the CyberDerm Do It e-learning platform. How is it functioning? How are the results we have produced later implemented? And then Professor Bagot from Paris will give us an idea how is maintenance guaranteed, what we have to do for sustainability of the project. And it's not for 1 year, 2 years, it's a long-term step we made now in this type of education. I will now move to another laptop because of technical reasons and the recording. And I need just one help a little bit to unmute there. I will unmute myself here in the